What you'll see this weekend is what patriotism looks like.
Are you talking about the Hate America rally? That's what we call it.
For the second time this year, protesters gathered around the country today for the No Kings protests, a push by organizations and everyday people against the Trump administration, including here in Colorado. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles. The biggest gathering in our state brought protesters to Denver this afternoon. This is what it looked like late morning, just as things got going. Crowds filled up the lawn in front of the state capitol, and we know even more people packed in as the day continued. They marched through the streets of downtown. This is video from Sky 9. We've sped it up a bit just to give you a full scope picture here. That march stretched nearly a dozen blocks through downtown. We also saw No Kings protests stretch out to the suburbs across the state, Fort Collins and Littleton, even a bridge in Genesee, showing you a backdrop of the mountains there. Now, for this weekend's No Kings protests, top Republicans have a new approach, suggesting now that the citizens criticizing them hate America, that they're violent extremists, even terrorists. 9 News reporter Rhea Joss spent the day downtown Denver finding out what exactly brought these folks out to protest today and how they feel about that characterization from leaders on the right that it's un-American. Rhea, tell us what you're seeing at this hour as far as crowds and how people feel about how the day went.
Yeah, Jenny, just want to make clear that this was a very, very, very peaceful protest for the entire day until probably the last minute or so. I just want to step to the side. About 6 or 7 law enforcement vehicles pulled up. One of them was an armored vehicle. Dozens of state troopers kind of walked out and started chasing one or a few of the protesters that are left here. And again, there's only a few dozen protesters left. We're not really sure exactly what this situation is right now or what exactly they were going after. But I do want to say that most of the day was very peaceful. This only happened within the last 5 minutes. And a lot of people that I spoke with, back to that un-American label that you said, they told me that this showing up today was one of the most American things they could do.
I am an almost 40-year veteran of the Environmental Protection Agency.
I am a strong Catholic believer. I'm also a 65-year-old Mexican American.
This is my great-grandson, this is my son.
Obviously, we are the future of this country.
These are the No Kings protesters who President Trump and his Republican allies are describing as a national threat.
I mean, look around. There's people in whale costumes. There's grandmas. I'm a grandma. This is anything but a terrorist organization or activity.
This is what democracy looks like.
Top Republicans calling Saturday's No Kings demonstrations the work of Antifa, a movement the president recently designated as a domestic terrorist organization.
It's just plain scary is what it is.
But honestly, it shows that we're not using the government to care for people. We're using the government to attack people and to make them scared, which is more, I would say, terrorism than anything else.
The label is intimidating, but for many here, they are confronting their fears by facing it head on.
The Speaker of the House, along with all of the sycophants in Washington, are declaring to the world that Antifa is a bunch of terrorists and that this is a hate America rally. But actually, we love America.
No, this is very American. This is, oh my gosh, protest is how we all started.
People here say they showed up for America and the issues they care about.
Absolutely healthcare.
So I'm a federal employee and I'm seeing that the federal agencies are being torn down and that we can't serve the public.
I feel like immigrants have been the lifeblood of this country. So the irony of suddenly us deciding they're a bad thing is not acceptable in my book.
From veterans to teenagers to babies, they came to prove that protest isn't an act of defiance, but an act of democracy.
You know, a protest like this is exactly what we need to do. We need to show everybody that this has to stop.
So obviously, as you saw, most of the day, almost all of the day until the last 5 minutes or so was very peaceful. Even what was happening just now was very peaceful. There's only a few dozen people here, but now all of Lincoln is blocked up. The traffic is completely at a standstill. It does look like officers were arresting people at some point. The situation is very confusing and we don't exactly know too much information. We do know there's state troopers, there are Denver police. It did appear like someone had been arrested. Again, this is a very confusing situation and I don't think representative of what was happening earlier today. So we will keep you guys updated on. There's a lot of
Rhea,
yelling
let me
right now,
ask
but
you
we
a
will
question
keep you
really
guys
quick, just to
updated
kind of help paint a picture for our viewers, because we know that really most of the people had left, and in the last hour you were watching just a few dozen people down there. Did you see something with the crowd turn, or did you see law enforcement move in as if they were maybe ready to move people out of downtown? Or is that not even really clear to you at this time?
There was nothing really with the crowd that was turning it. We were about to go live for this show, and about 6 or 7 vehicles pulled up out of nowhere and kind of, it seemed directed towards one specific person, and then now they're leaving. So
okay. Well, we certainly will continue to have eyes on this situation downtown, but Rhea kind of giving us a picture of how the day went with the large crowds earlier. And again, Denver police telling us that at the last check that they checked in with us later this afternoon, that it had been a remarkably peaceful day across the Denver protests. But we'll keep an eye on that and keep letting you know. Again, there were protests really across the state and across the whole country today. Thousands of people were at rallies in various suburbs across Colorado. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel attended a few of those and said that some of the crowds there were even larger than last time.
The purpose of a protest is to send a message.
Trump has been awful.
And on street corners across Colorado Saturday,
just like everybody else concerned about democracy,
that message was loud and clear.
It's all about showing what you believe, and that's what America's all about.
From Littleton to Longmont and Golden to Genesee, Coloradans showed up to protest President Donald Trump's policies.
They talk about Democrats causing government shutdown. Trump has been having a shutdown since January 20th.
We just got to stand up here and do what's right. And so that's what I'm here for our rights.
It's everything that the blinders on the GOP, which I am a registered Republican, but they're just not seeing the big picture here.
I could be doing a lot of other things with my Saturday morning than getting dressed up in orange face paint. I am here because I love my country and I want to defend it, and I want to leave this country better than the way I found it.
Over the past week, Republican leaders across the country have referred to those who planned to attend today's rallies as un-American and even terrorists.
We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally.
Those we spoke to felt differently.
Oh my God, that is so stupid. I don't even want to answer it. It is so stupid.
I'm pro-America.
They claim I'm a terrorist. I used to be a socialist, then a communist. Now I'm a terrorist. You know, this is the kind of language of us versus them. It destroys the fabric of American society.
Yeah, these are the happiest terrorists I've ever met.
Today's rallies were peaceful and loud, and those who showed up hope their message was heard.
Yeah, I love America, and I feel happy that we're allowed to do this still.